Hello and welcome to Sincere TV, television for the brokenhearted. My name's Tim Sincere. Thanks for tuning in. Look, before we do anything else, let's see who's under the bathroom mat. It's David Bowie, and specifically his performance on Top of the Pops of Starman in July of 1972. 15 million viewers every Thursday night at 7:25, and you typically watch it with your mum and dad, but on this occasion I was on my own. Now the audience at Top of the Pops, the people dancing around, are not cool people like you get at Studio 54. These were just ordinary kids, the boys and girls from next door. Many British pop stars from my generation talk about this performance of Starman by Bowie being a significant effect on their careers. Now, I'm not a top British pop star, I just play one on Sincere TV, but it had a major effect on me too. Bowie was singing live along to a pre-recorded backing tape, and he was so confident. I mean, it just screamed at you from the TV. And that opening chord on the 12-string guitar is still something of a mystery. I think there's only really two people who know truly what that chord is, Bowie and Mick Ronson. And sadly, both of them are dead, so we may never know.
This is Sincere TV.
In 1982, when David Bowie was preparing for his Let's Dance LP, he was shopping around for a top producer and rhythm guitarist. David wanted me, but his record company said, no, mate. So he ended up with Nile Rodgers. What do you think about that, mate?
This performance is famous for the iconic moment when Bowie points at us sitting at home watching our TVs with that penetrating eye contact that he made.
I had to phone someone, so I picked on you. Hey, that's far out, so you heard him too. Switch on the TV, we may pick him up on channel 2.
This wasn't normal fare for TV in 1972. It was menacing and sexually intriguing, especially for an 11-year-old boy. I mean, they had armadillos in their trousers.
The makeup of your audience seems to be predominantly young boys. Well, it's a sexual thing, really. Aside from the identifying that the boys do with us, there's also like a reaction to the females to our music.
They're quite fearful.
Yeah.
That was my theory. They see us on stage with tight trousers. We've got, armadillos in our trousers. I mean, it's really quite frightening, the size.
Yeah.
And they run screaming.
Starman's a brilliant song, and Mick Ronson's back of the throat Les Paul guitar solo was really something. At one point when Bowie and Ronson are singing harmonies around one mic, Bowie puts his arm around Mick, and Mick's clearly very uncomfortable, and it was an interesting thing to see back in those days. Now, an 11-year-old schoolboy can earn an awful lot from David Bowie. Sexuality, gender, style, rebellion, cool, and chords.
Well, I'm up on the 11th floor and I'm watching the cruisers below.
My top 5 favorite guitarists are Nile Rodgers, Mick Ronson, Pete Townsend, Hugh Cornwell of the Stranglers, and Mick Jones of the Clash. 2 of those guitarists played with Bowie. I've talked previously on Sincere TV about chance meetings and how things would have been completely different if those 2 people hadn't been in that place on that same day. And Bowie and Ronson is just as significant as Lennon and McCartney or Jagger and Richards, Goffin and King, Lieber and Stoller. I really think it is, because that sound was a brand new type of sound with the mix of an acoustic guitar with an electric band. And Bowie kind of invented that sound, and Mick Ronson, of course, was a major part in that. There was a hand-me-down acoustic guitar in our family which had been broken because somebody had put steel guitar strings on it, and it was only supposed to have nylon strings, and so it completely pulled the bridge off. Now, it went unnoticed in our attic for a number of years, but after I saw this performance of Starman, I nagged at my dad to fix it. Now, my dad was a pretty good carpenter, but he knew nothing about guitars, and he glued the bridge back on, but in completely the wrong place. So the guitar was impossible to tune and really impossible to play anything meaningful on. But I used to take it to school a couple of days a week, and I'd play Bowie songs with my mates in the lunch break. And we weren't very good, but we kept at it. And you know what? We weren't the only British kids who felt inspired to have a go at it.
Chef breakfast snarling as you stumble across the road.
Bowie's influence on pop music cannot be overstated. This is Sincere TV, television for the broken-hearted.
Do you remember Agatha's Spin? It's such an old song. I've heard a rumor from
Sincere TV.